All right, welcome back to the Patience Trading channel. This is a members only video. We're going to be showing you how to scalp Bitcoin on the 5-minute, the 1-minute, and really this works for any of the shorter time frames. Scalping is when you make trades based on small movements to the upside or to the downside. So as we can see with Bitcoin, this thing moves a lot, and you can be cashing in on every single move that this thing makes. And if you're using high leverage or high capital, a simple 2% gain can end up with you making thousands of dollars. That's just the truth of it. Now, which exchanges are we going to be using in today's video? The main exchange that I use is Fairdesk. We are partnered directly with Fairdesk through Paytience. They are one of our main partners. There's a $100,000 deposit bonus if you sign up for Fairdesk using our link. Also, you get 15% rebates on every single trading fee. We also have an awesome deal with MEXC. All of these links will be in the description. BingX as well is a great exchange. And we have Femex. And we are partnered with Femex. We're partnered with Bybit, MEXC, and Fairdesk. So you get special benefits if you sign up using our links. But I'm going to show you today on Fairdesk how we would do this using the Patience kit, but also using the Patience Discord. So let's get started. We're on the 5-minute chart. We're going to turn on our Patience kit, and we're going to configure it to the scalping settings. So we're on Bitcoin. Generally, people like to scalp Bitcoin because it is very volatile. There's huge solid volume, solid liquidity. The moves are pretty clear, right? And you can get in good on these moves. You can get good entries because there's a lot of liquidity. First thing we're going to do, turn on the Patience kit. I am going to turn off the monitor. That's on the bottom right, the monitor. We're going to turn that off just because we won't be using it for scalping. We're going to make sure the bands are on. We're going to make sure the mode is on auto unless you want to use a custom mode. And we're going to make sure we're on Bitcoin. We're going to make sure we're on the scalper mode. Okay, so auto, scalper, and Bitcoin. We also have the trend mode. We have all of these altcoin modes. And then if you want to use any of these altcoin modes, make sure you're on custom. Now, we're also going to go into the scalper settings. And now, if you want to put on the range filter, this is going to help you signal or filter out some trades. So essentially the frequency right here, the frequency level directly affects the number of signals generated. Lower sensitivity results in a lower number of signals, while higher sensitivity leads to more aggressive signals. So for me, I'm going to put this on, I'm going to put the range filter on, and we're going to put it on 3 and 5, okay? We are going to put the trend line on. Now this is the middle line that will run through our chart here. You can see the red and green movements. So essentially with scalping, we're trying to get in at the turn of the trend so that we can catch those moves up or down. Now, the next thing we're going to do, and by the way, you can customize the trend settings here. And then we're going to turn on SL/TP. This is going to allow us to generate actual trades. And now you can see that some of these trades would have been very profitable. So our entry line is here, and we actually almost made it to our third take profit level there. This one got stopped out, and there's no trades currently being ran. I will show you how it looks when a scalp is actually running right now. So if you pop onto your 5-minute chart, you will see an open trade looks like this. Now, if we just play this trade out, you will see that this is how the trade went. So very stressful, right? Scalping can be very stressful. It can be very high risk. You can anticipate losing some money on some of these. However, this one did very, very well for us, and you would have taken profit twice already. By the way, these are just suggestions. We're going to show you a method that you can use that doesn't use this directly, but it actually uses our Discord. So we now have our settings configured. You can also change your risk to reward ratio. You can also make it so that the trade that's open has to hit a certain profit level for any new trades to generate. So right now, we have it on take profit 1. So no new trades will generate until we hit take profit 1. Risk to reward and ATR scale and ATR length, you can play around with that as well. If we put a 3 for risk to reward, you're going to see our stop loss and take profit get a little bit bigger. So this would mean you're willing to risk more for the gains. Now, this is the first way of catching scalps, is simply to use the patience kit and wait for good entries on the chart like this one. However, if you don't want to wait for the entries to pop up, we do have a video showing you how to set alerts so that you don't have to sit here for 9 hours every single day and look at the chart, or even a few hours. You can simply set an alert to get alerted when a new trade opens. Now, one of my other favorite ways to scalp is to actually turn off the stop loss and take profit entries. For this, we're also going to take off... Actually, no, we'll keep the trend line on. We will keep the trend line on. Now, the method we're going to use here is to simply use the bands. So these bands right here, the yellow band and the purple band, are proprietary made bands, and they are based on a lot of different things. So what we're looking for is the price to hit the top of the band. When it hits the top of the band, that is a short signal. And as you can see, if we would have entered anywhere up here, anywhere here, you would have made a lot of profit on the way down if you were willing to hold out. Similarly, if we used the bands right here, we had a touch right here, you would have caught that spring up pretty good there, and then if you held out for a long time, you'd be very much in profit. Some other examples, you can see right here, we kind of got way out of the bands. You could have caught that little move up. Right here, we got out of the bands, went all the way down out of the bands on the bottom, and then back up. So these little moves are what you're ultimately looking for, but you must watch out for the squeeze. Now, a squeeze means something like this. For example, if you entered here, you basically got wrecked, unless you take profit down here. So unless you were actively monitoring the trade, you probably wouldn't have got out there, and this price has now continued higher. So you want to watch out for these crazy movements like this. What we ultimately want is very clean movements like this, where you're out of the band and then instantly the price starts retracing. What you have to remember here is that each of these candles is 5 minutes worth of data. So if you're in a trade for this long, that's a long time, right? This is probably 40 minutes or 45 minutes or something like that. So you have to really watch it, and that's basically how you get in. You can also turn on the momentum oscillator here and see some of the momentum happening. For example, right here, you could see that we were peaking out on the momentum waves, and then we started to print downwards on the momentum waves. So that would have been a good entry right there. Now, the next way to scalp, which is a little bit more blind, but can be extremely powerful, is to sign up for the scalping notifications inside the Paytience Discord. All you got to do, go to the Scalp Noties channel, click 1 minute or 5 minute. The 5 minutes are way more powerful, way more confident of an entry on the 5 minutes, and the 1 minute is a little bit more risky. But what this is going to do is give you an alert inside of your Discord straight to your phone when you should enter. So as soon as you get this, you're going to run to the chart and you're going to check if it's a good entry. Now, on your trading platform, we're going to be using Fairdesk. Generally, you are going to be entering with a market buy. And market buys have increased fees, so you do pay more fees. You also pay more fees depending on what leverage you use. Generally, for scalping, I like to use 10x, 5x, 15x, even sometimes 20x, which is a bit high, but it's all about your risk preference. You're going to make sure you're on isolated as well, not cross. You can experiment with cross. We're going to have a video detailing what these two are, but you can put your leverage on whatever you want. and then you're going to enter with your capital. Now, generally for scalping, people do use high leverage and high capital because they want the biggest amount of profits for the smallest possible move. But you have to watch out for the fees. And this is why you should sign up with the Fairdesk link, because you get 15% back on all of your fees. So this is the second way. It's a bit more blind. We're working on our third premium indicator that is actually directly based on these alerts, and it will be very powerful for all time frames, but especially for scalping the 1 minute and 5 minute. So that is how you scalp. Be very careful. This is for advanced traders. It is very much easier to watch the higher time frames and try to get in on good entries for the higher time frames. But just look out for touching the bottom of the band is a good indicator, as well as the generated entries on the Paytience kit. So that is all we've got. Thank you guys for being inside of the Paytience Discord. Love every single one of you, and goodbye.